Trigger warning. Death and Friends is not a podcast for the light of heart. Many dark and serious subjects will come up. Listener discretion is advised.
Death and Friends is filmed before a live studio audience.
Jesus, where is everyone?
Since we've been back for season 2, Angel and I have spent a lot of time together, trying to understand each other better and work on our professional relationship. It's hard since we're from 2 different backgrounds, but these days, it's important to really listen to each other's experiences. It's hard though because Angel never wants to talk about his. Are you still talking to yourself, Nash? I thought you'd outgrow that by now.
Hey, bud, sorry we're late. It's just,
We were just finishing up some research. Oh God.
Oh God.
Are you both crying?
What? No. Our eyes are sweaty.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're totally fine.
So fine. Just so fine.
Okay, cool.
I said we were fine.
Sorry I'm late. I saw the most boring movie just now.
What movie?
Capo, Coca, something like that. Lame film. Oh, now I want some chocolate. There's one song that was just awful.
How did it go?
Da 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Are you kidding right now?
Are you fucking
kidding?
serious right now? You piece
Get out
of
of
shit.
my face, Dom.
Get
you
the
piece
fuck
of shit.
Alright, here we go. Death comes for us all. You might as well make it your friend. Your friend. With us on Death and Friends.
Bienvenido, Skeleton Army. It's your boy Angel, and that skeleton trying to figure out if they can get a spirit dog is Nash.
I just want a spirit guide that will also love me.
Today's episode is a very special one. We're talking about Day of the Dead.
Wait, we're talking about zombie films?
What? No. We're talking about the holiday, Day of the Dead, or as it is known in my native language, and beautiful, lovely Mexico, Dia de los Muertos.
That makes way more sense with my notes than zombies. I'm being informed via my earpiece that I must include the obligatory message to inform everyone that Dia de los Mentos is not Mexican Halloween. Don't get me wrong, when talking about death, everything is spooky, but not actually scary like modern Halloween. Though, if you listen to the last episode, which was in fact about the origins of Halloween, you might just find some similarities.
Did she? Dia de los... Anyway, fun fact, the misconception is kind of justified. ¿Por qué? Because they're so close to each other. Both Halloween and Dia come from pagan rituals that are changed over time due to colonialism.
Celebrations of the dead in ancient Mexico take many shapes and forms before Cortez and his gang of buttholes show up. But for right now, we're focusing on our old friends, the Nahua people, aka the Aztecs.
If you listen to our episode about sacrificial rituals in Mesoamerica, that's Season 1, Episode 8, available now everywhere you listen to podcasts, you would know that the Aztecs, just a little, just a wee bit, obsessed with death.
Again, really strange place for us to get horny. Just
about death.
They would literally adorn buildings with skulls of those sacrificed to their gods, which metal is all hell. That also explains the cultural importance of skulls to the Mexican people.
Yeah, Mexico is just metal as hell, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Aztec afterlife, also very metal. ¿Por qué? Because when you die, your body is trying to travel to Mictlan, the land of the dead. And if you don't die by a manner that took you immediately to Aztec paradise, and those ways being war, childbirth, drowning, lightning, just to name a few, You have to go through 9 challenging levels in the time span around 4 years in order for your soul to reach the final resting place, Mictlan, which was guarded by the god Mictlantecuhtli and his wife, Miquelcatlihuatl. Apologies for the terrible pronunciation. Both these gods protect the land of the dead from the other Aztec gods, which is an entire, very insane, very complicated lore that's very interesting that hopefully I will get into on a later episode. But the main part of this is that this is where the offering tradition and altars comes from, because it was a 4-year journey. People gotta eat on this journey. They gotta, you ever been so tired after a long day of work and you're like, man, some tacos sound good. Imagine if you're dead trying to get to land of paradise.
Well, the gods were fucking. Oh,
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like they'd have the altars and be like, "Oh God, please tell me you put your headphones out. We need them so much." It just sounds like it's just the sounds of hams fighting each other, just slapping. They just stay fucking.
The hand gesture was not good on that.
Just imagine you're like going through the land of the dead, like through the several stages of hell, and like just you hear suffering and like. Blah, blah, blah. But like the worst part of it is just like ooh, like in the distance, ooh.
Miquelcatlihuatl. That was my best attempt.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mikey. Also, this ritual was originally done in mid to late summer. Pero
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
in this case, and quite frankly many others, the Fire Nation is the Roman Catholic Church.
Metaphor of the day.
Christianity comes to Mexico, and in classic Christian form, they take the pagan holidays and they just smash everything up together. Pretty much in exactly the same way they did with the Celts from the last episode. They pack up All Saints' Day in their Gucci carry-on, they spread it like a VD all over Mexico. Boom. Dia de los Muertos is a holiday that celebrates life. So the Catholics are like, great, that sounds like just our thing, it's perfect. Let's toss it on our calendar for November 1st.
Dia de los... Okay, so to summarize, Halloween and Dia de los Muertos was connected due to, and let me check my notes here. It says Jesus?
Picante.
I'm learning so much this episode. It's so nice to finally hear Angel excited about something. And as a perk, I haven't seen the janitor all day. I just know he's thinking about pranking me, but for right now, I'm just happy to be getting work done.
Are you monologuing like Scrubs?
What? No, I would never.
Okay.
Okay. But was it okay? I know it might seem like I have it all together, but in reality, writing this podcast is hard work.
The hell? Dude.
I have this terrible head cold that I can't quite shake.
Hey, I can literally hear you.
Back to the show.
November 1st is technically Dia de los Angelitos, Day of the Little Angels, which celebrates children. The next day is for the rest of them. The celebration lasts the first 2 days of November.
Much like Halloween, or really any holiday that lands around this time, it's believed that the border between our world and the spirit world disappears. In the US and other places, that means demons are ready to get you. They're under your bed right now, or maybe in that closet. Did you leave that door open, or did it open all on its own? But in Mexico, the more wholesome idea of your family getting to visit is accepted.
Mexicans have a strange view of death, to say the least. Our forerunners, the Aztecs, thought that death was cyclical, and just the next part of the journey. And generations of death worship and overall mocking of death makes us quite a strange batch, to say the least.
So how do you take power away from the things that are meant to scare you? You make fun of them. That understanding, mixed with a culture dedicated to essentially being cool with death, and boom, Dia de los Muertos celebrations.
Okay. Alright. I thought I was hearing things earlier, but now...
Everything okay? You
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, everything's just real fresh.
Commercial?
The most common image is that of calacas and calaveras, skeletons and bones. You would think the adoption of these images dates back to the Aztec gods of death. You know, the one slapping hams earlier? You know, the ones that protected bones and ate the stars, right? Super metal image. It's actually from a political cartoon.
In the early 20th century, cartoonist Jose Guadalupe Posada made a political cartoon, La Calavera Catrina, or the Elegant Skull, which is the classic image of a skeleton painted up in a fancy dress, which was commenting on the bourgeoisie selling out in Mexico, and also showing that no matter what, We are electronic flesh bags with inner filling of skeleton. Just like Grandma made.
Yeah, the best part, the culture essentially said, yeah, that's dope. We like that a lot. We're going to do that from now on for this holiday. That's literally what happened. That's literally what happened. The culture said, we like it. Let's do it all the time. Ah, so beautiful. And of course, that's just one of the things that led to the evolution over the last century to what you may recognize now. Sugar candy skulls, altars, and so on and so forth.
Honoring the dead is a huge thing in Mexican culture, even outside the holiday itself. So naturally, the actual Day of the Dead, it's time to really show up. Skull candy, arches, flowers, the whole thing.
For example, marigolds, the flower, are specifically grown for this holiday. They smell wonderful and just, they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. They have this like amazing goldish, yellowish hue. And pan de muertos is baked too, which is, oh my God, it's so good. It's so simple, this recipe. It's just like some yeast, some flour, some water. It's so fucking good.
Angel.
Oh my God.
Angel,
Okay.
focus.
It's great with butter.
Butter?
The altars to honor the dead are set up with flowers, food, keepsakes, and any other thing that the person in life may have loved. These are called ofrendas?
Yes. Look at you
Yay.
pronouncing something correctly for once.
What does that
Alrighty.
mean?
Don't worry about it. On my altar, I would just like to say that I want sugar skulls and lucha masks, some horchata, some tacos, tamales, of course, and more importantly, some cheese.
You can't have cheese, Angel.
In the afterlife, no one can smell my toots.
Once again, you're forgetting about ghost farts. It's common to have small parades dressed in calavera and Katrina makeup and have some music playing and an overall good time. I mean, so I've heard. I've never been invited. Angel.
Hey, what's that over there? While it is a somber holiday, it's one of celebration. If you've ever been to a Dia de los Muertos celebration, someone from outside the culture would definitely think it's a little weird.
Yeah, the image of a bunch of people hanging out in a cemetery, drinking, partying, crying. It's a wild one.
Yeah, and you wonder why you never get invited. But please, tell me how my culture is wrong, Nash.
You wrote my lines! Oh no.
As many of you might know, Mexicans know how to party, but there's definitely way more tradition involved with this one. Different parts of Mexico also have their traditions. For example, muerteadas are performed in certain places. These are small plays and performances that are staged to depict fights between the devil and the Grim Reaper. Many different spooky and occult stories are portrayed, but it's all done with a comedic tone. Fun fact, they like to run around and roast people. Just body them with words. But people wear elaborate costumes that have stories like Tales of La Llorona and scaring witches away with cloaks made of mirrors. Of course, traditional Aztec dancing is done as well. These traditions dating back, of course, to the old performances that were done before sacrifices, depicting the Aztec gods. Custom papel picado is made as well. Music is played, bandas are playing, corridos all night. Overall, es un tiempo genial.
It's always nice to learn new things about the people that you like. And even though the days can be long and hard, and we've done this episode at least 15 times now, we come from totally different places. It's fun being on this crazy journey together.
It seems like Nash and Angel are only ever talking about themselves.
Dumb? How are you doing this?
Spooky.
Let's get to the elefante in the room before we wrap up here.
Can I have an alebrije?
What? You mean the wooden statue of mythical monsters that are sold to represent spirit animals that guide you through the afterlife?
Yes.
You know what? Sure, Nash. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have one. And actually, alebrijes are a good segue to the movie Coco.
Which is so good.
At best, it's okay.
You
You
motherfucker!
fucking asshole.
piece of
Are you
shit.
serious right What did we learn today, gang? Well, we learned that while they may come from a similar origin, Dia de los Muertos is not Halloween. You get to hang out with your loved ones that have just passed and have a good time doing it.
It's a hell of a party. It's a day where you remember those who have died and you get to say, what a time to be alive. Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Muertos. The dead.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Muertos.
Beautiful. I love listening to you say it over and over again.
Dia de
Yeah.
los
That's what it's called. Yep.
Muertos.
That's the episode. A special thanks to you, our favorite listener. Remember to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. A rate and review would also be nice.
Seriously.
Yeah.
A rating review would just be mwah. Just
No.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Gorilla Jokes.
And I'm at It's Nash Flynn.
And of course, follow the podcast at Death and Friends Podcast.
Hey, you want to become an official member of the Skeleton Army?
Sí, por favor.
Well, you can do that by joining us on Patreon. It's mostly to cover our sound guy's medical bills. In order to properly write medical facts, which did not appear in the show today, we expose Dom to all the illnesses and ways to die we talk about on the show.
Yeah. Dom was, we're going to say, taken care of. Mm-hmm. He went to a big farm due to his hate of the movie Coco.
Can't come back if you're not on the ofrenda, Dom.
Remember these nuts.
So check it out at patreon.com/deathandfriends.
Thanks to our friends at the Brendan Fraser level. Diane H., Luella B., Vicky R., Kevin L., John D., The Game Snake, and Andy C.
Hey, Andy. I love your new haircut.
Well, with that being said, that's the episode, everybody. And death is a tricky thing to talk about, but we need you to remember something. You are loved. You matter. If you don't want to be your own friend, we will happily be your friend.
You do gotta put my selfies up. You promised. Because my own family isn't gonna do it. And I want to come back as a ghost.
Mm-hmm. Very necessary. Very necessary. Until next time, Skeleton Army. Te amo.
Love you.
This has been a Knavery Inc. podcast. Go to knaveryinc.com for more details. Executive produced by Jacob Duffy Hallbleib. Audio design by Dominic Guanzon. Themes and transitions by Amy Doe.
The fuck is a knave?
Remember, this is a comedy podcast? Don't use it in your research papers.